guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to talk about what are the best tank options for, most people to use when it comes to the rares, okay? Because maybe not too many of you have pulled some good tanks. There's quite a few amazing tanks that are epic, but you know what? You might be struggling and you might need to decide between whatever tanks that are available in the rare department. So I went through them and I looked a little bit, and honestly there's not too many options, so that's why I kind of selected through them. I think there's like 8 in total, something like that, but I went and picked which ones I believe to be like top 5 tanks. And we're gonna start with number 1, and this one's gonna be a little bit of a cheat because, well, he's not a rare per se, but you can consider him a rare because, well, you get him for free. Anybody gets this one for free. Just need to log in for 3 days, and that is Horus. Well, Horus is obviously one of the, honestly, I think he's like top 5 tanks, like from the epics and below, so definitely deserves to be like number 1 over here. Again, I did say he's not a rare, but you get him for free, so whenever I'm talking about rares, those are like things that it's easier to obtain. So that's why I wanted to classify Horus in here. And the reason why he's so good, he brings amazing aura, okay, 24% HP in all battles, which is massive. Then this passive is insane. Basically, if you have it booked, there's a 75% chance that whenever he gets hit, he has a chance of placing a max HP shield of 10% of his max HP, and he has a really good base HP, so you can build him really tanky. Then on the battle skill, he brings a 75% chance to bring attack down. We're not going to talk much about their damage, as tanks in general, you're not going to build them to do damage, you're just going to build them to survive and be as tanky as possible for you to use in either Vortex, Grave of Venom, or any other area where you need to tank. So this decreased attack can help. I wish this was 100% though, but even at 75%, because it's on the battle skill, I guess it's it's good enough. Then on his ultimate, he also brings an amazing hit that also taunts people, so this one can be really good. But not only does he do that, he also gives himself damage reduction and hit recovery, so that can help keep himself alive pretty easily. So that's why I wanted to throw in there Horus as the number 1, okay? Now, if we're going a little bit down the list, there were a few options that I was looking through, honestly. I was looking at Livia, but she's not good enough. I was looking at Amira, and I was going to mention, honestly, Amira, because, well, she brings the big version of attack down on her ultimate, and she also gives herself defense up. Then she also has a really cool passive, which can make her take 30% less damage once she stacks up those stacks. But I did not put her in the top because, well, we already have Horus for the fire affinity, so we don't really need another one, so to say. But however, I have gone a little bit down through the list, and I saw somebody that's pretty interesting, and that is, let me find them again, Dane, which I do not have. Dane seems to be a pretty decent tank. His base HP is not too high, but he has really good defense. And the reason why I like him a lot is because of this one. So he basically grants ally protection to one ally for 10 seconds, but he also grants damage reduction to himself and all allies nearby. So if you are in that square, having ally protection means that he's going to be that person that's gonna hit is gonna take less damage, and then the damage reduction is huge. Taking 30% less damage for 10 seconds, that's massive. So as an example, if you use him in the temporal vortex where you can group all of your people together, having this one can make you survive a lot longer. Then he also brings this one, which is massive. It's a 100% chance to inflict stun on the battle skill. That's pretty good. Even though it's single target, it's still really good. But then he also has an interesting passive. Grants the ally with the lowest HP within one tile around the hero defense up equal to 30% of this hero's defense at the start of combat. So this was not going to help you for the whole of the fight, but for other fights where maybe, I don't know, maybe in arena could be interesting, but you might not use him in arena. However, like I said, I just really like his ultimate. It's pretty good. Also, he brings a good Captain Aura in dungeons, 24% defense. That's an epic level aura. So that's Dane, that's number 2. Then if we go a little bit down, we're going to talk about another one that we get for free, and that's Forbret, okay? The reason why I like him is because, well, first of all, he has a good chance to stun in a pretty decent area, and it does also some decent damage. Even though you're not going to build him with attack, you might just get some attack from other stuff you build on him. However, like I said, the fact that he can do stuns, that's pretty good for content. Like, as an example, if you go and fight the Grave of Venom, if he does this, he can maybe stun the side, depending how you place him, he can maybe stun the minions or the eggs, you know, whatever those are. Those minions for the Grave of Venom, which will stop doing their skill, so that's pretty helpful. Then again, he has some decent damage with knockup. This is gonna help mostly like in arena or other areas where you have some heroes. But what's really awesome about him is this passive. When taking damage from the enemy inflicted with a debuff, reduces the damage taken by 30%. So he straight up has 30% damage reduction if you have debuff on the enemy. And most of the time, you're gonna have some sort of a debuff. You know, you might have poison, frost, decrease attack, decrease defense, something like that. You're gonna have a debuff, which makes him pretty good to, you know, makes him be able to tank pretty well, has good HP, good defense, and also he brings aura in all battles by 18% boost of max HP. So that's why Frorbeth, I believe, Frorbeth, he has an interesting name. I'm not good with names. I think you already noticed that, guys. But yeah, that's why I put him as number 3. Then number 4, we're gonna get over into, where is he? Why can't I find people? And Frost, another Frost one, which is Loris. He's one of the newer ones. If I'm not mistaken, he was not in the closed beta, but he appeared in season 1, and he's pretty interesting. He has a good base HP again, decent defense, and his kit is actually really interesting. First thing is this ultimate that has 100% of placing attack penalty. That's massive. Putting the big version of attack penalty is pretty good, and you know, it only requires 2 books. That's it. You don't need to invest too many scrolls in him. And taunting is not gonna work for most stuff, but this decreased attack can be huge. Then on the battle skill, he gives himself a shield for 5 seconds of 10% of his max HP. So because it just is max HP, it's obviously his max HP. Being on the battle skill, that's huge. Again, you're not going to care about the damage, but you're going to care about the shield. And also there's a pretty fun passive for, you know, some areas when there's maybe some minions that hit you or something like that. Whenever taking damage, he has a 10% chance of inflicting frozen on the attacker for 2 seconds. This effect can only be triggered once every 5 seconds. So I don't think this works on the... Actually, this could work, for example, again, in the Grave of Venom for the side minions, you know, so for the eggs. When the boss does that attack, that ultimate that attacks one person with the side ones, every time they hit, they do like rapid attacks, there's a chance to freeze them. And guess what? If you freeze them, they're not going to attack you, they're not going to put a decreased defense, so he could be massive for that. And honestly, you just need, what, 7 books on him? That's... You know, that's another bonus, and that's why I chose to put him on the list, you know, compared to the others. Then we have the last one that I really wanted to talk about, and this one's kind of like one of the OP tanks, so to speak, because he has an amazing utility, and that is Fetz. The reason why I call him a little bit, you know, special and has this different utility is, first of all, he has massive base HP, but his ultimate is amazing. So basically, he puts a 10% max HP shield on himself, then transfers all debuffs from all allies to himself. That's huge straight up on its own. You know, if you think lots about in lots of areas where, I don't know, you get poisons, you get burns, you get stuff like that, he's just gonna be amazing. Take him in the flame domain, he's gonna take all of those burns onto himself. Take him in the Fey Meander when you're fighting the Lady of Greeneries, he's gonna take all of those poisons, put them on himself. Take him into the Grave of Rot, you know, you get the gist. Same thing. Wherever you get AoE debuffs on your team, you bring him in and he's gonna be amazing to soak up all of those ones. And he also heals himself. Each successful transfer grants additional healing to the hero. It doesn't really say how much, but I guess, you know, they need to expand on the description. However, this one's pretty amazing. Then on the battle skill, randomly dispels 1 debuff from the hero and gains defense up for 5 seconds. Well, look at this. It's on 8 seconds. It's an 8 seconds cooldown. Build him with some skill haste, and then he's gonna do that so often that basically, after he transfers all the debuffs to himself, he's gonna get a turn pretty fast and cleanse those layers. So again, as an example, the Flame Domain, he might get to be like, I don't know, 20 burns on himself, but he's gonna come back to this battle skill, he's just gonna cleanse those burns, and you're gonna be good to go. And at the same time, his passive, it's really ambiguous, but the more debuffs inflict, the less damage taken. So the more debuffs he has on himself, the less damage he will take. He has a really amazing, you know, overall kit, which is pretty simple, but it's amazing and really useful for several areas of the game. So yeah, I think that's the, you know, this was the top 5 people that I chose to put on the list. There might be, you know, some other ones worth talking about. Like I said, if you just click there and go with defense, like I said, there's Livia, Amira, Altin is just pretty bad, Salian pretty bad, Beric worth mentioning but not the best, and Edgar again, it's pretty decent but still definitely not the best. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gives you some ideas, because you know what, you might be getting to the point later in the game where you need it's not might, you 100% are gonna get to the point where you're gonna need at least another tank, okay? Be it for the City of Trials, which is kind of like the faction wars or like, you know, the yeah, I guess faction wars from raid, where you might need somebody that's different apart from Horus. So definitely worth keeping in mind. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I hope this gives you some ideas of who to focus on, who to look at for future content, and this is gonna be it for today. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye guys.